Goldwings and Glizzies, we're giving away a 2025 Honda Goldwing Tour DCT. And man, have I got a lot of news this month.
And welcome to yet another episode of Crown and Comments with your host and resident Goldwing guru, the one, the only, Cruiseman. Brought to you by Cruiseman's Garage Honda Goldwing Maintenance Videos.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Crown and Comments for April 2024. I believe this is our 44th or 45th episode. Can you believe it? Anyway, I want to welcome you back. For those of you that are new, we do this about once a month. I get online or I get on the camera and I take some of your questions and comments from my YouTube channel or from emails, Facebook. We get together, I read your emails, your comments, I respond to them. I try to answer questions if I can, or at least I give you my reactions. And just tons of stuff going on right now. I started out the video talking about Goldwings and Glizzies. I was out in Chattanooga, Tennessee recently, just a few weeks ago, for Southern Honda Powersports Goldwings and Glizzies. You heard me talk about it in last month's Crown and Comments, and it's just about to happen. And it was amazing. We had, I don't know how many people there, had to be hundreds of people that rode their motorcycles in from literally all over the country. Had a chance to meet a lot of new friends, a lot of people, a lot of you that I've met over YouTube, through comments or emails. I was swamped. I mean, I had a little area up there in the front of the store, and it was just constant people coming by to say hi and to meet, and really enjoyed meeting all of you. And it was just a great time. I got my 2024 Honda Goldwing at Southern Honda Powersports. I think they're the largest Honda Goldwing dealer in the country. They sell more Goldwings than anyone. And it was just a really, really good time. I got a chance to also meet some other YouTubers and some people that I've never met before. Of course, you know Mac from BreezyRyder Love. He was there, so that wasn't somebody new I had met. And you probably all know Chris Caliente. I've met him. But I also got to meet Slappy from Slappy's Adventures. Or Slappy Adventures, I guess, is not Slappy's. It's Slappy Adventures. Check out his website if you haven't done so already. Redbeard was there. Max McAllister, of course, was there. And Sensei, I got a chance to meet Sensei and Ride Fit Nation. Great YouTube channel. Make sure you check his channel out as well. And got the chance to see somebody I hadn't seen in many years at Wheels. Some of you guys know Wheels. He's, infamous in the Goldwing community, or famous, I should say, not infamous. I'm infamous. And he's a great guy. Like I said, hadn't seen him in a long time. It's really good to reconnect. I also, while we were there, I was able to announce that I have a coupon available for those of you that buy a motorcycle from Southern Honda Powersports. If you buy a Goldwing from Southern Honda Powersports, in your packet that you get from Southern Honda, you should receive a $50 coupon, a $50 off coupon on my Honda Goldwing maintenance video series. It's the only way you can get that discount. If you're in the market for a new Goldwing, make sure you check out Southern Honda Powersports. I know some of you may not live in Tennessee, but I'd say for sure if you're on the East Coast, and no matter where you live, people fly in from all over the country, they'll buy a Goldwing and then they'll ride it home. Or they'll ship it to you, whatever you want to do. And just yesterday, now maybe a couple of days before this video gets posted, actually it was just this morning. Just this morning I posted my podcast with Lake Speed Jr. from Speed Diagnostics. Really informative video. I know it's a long one. It's a little over an hour, but I'm telling you, I learned stuff about oil and lubrication and motorcycles. So if you haven't seen the video with Lake Speed, make sure you check it out. Really informative. In the C block, I'm going to talk about what my takeaways were from that conversation and from my interaction with Speed Diagnostics. And let me remind you again, if you haven't done so already, make sure you've signed up for my email newsletter. It's completely free. You can unsubscribe at any time, and I periodically send out emails with updated information on motorcycles or Honda Goldwings, or sometimes special deals that some of my affiliate suppliers offer to my viewers. So you might get special discounts, or it might be a discount on my merchandise, or a new piece of merchandise we come out with, like the 50th anniversary caps, the Shadow Flag t-shirts, and other gear. So make sure you sign up for that newsletter. It's completely free. It only takes a couple of seconds. Would really appreciate it. Okay, one last little bit of news just to make you aware of what's going on. Next week, I'm going to be having some dental surgery done, and it's going to be a little extreme. I am having one of my front teeth removed. It's a tooth I've had problems with since I was a kid. When I was about 9 years old, I broke the tooth about in half, and have been wearing a crown on that tooth my whole life. And recently, over the last few years, off and on, I would get these little infections. It's a long story. I don't need to get into it. But basically, the time has come for that tooth to come out. So it's going to be a pretty lengthy healing process. So you might be looking at me. I might look like a jack-o'-lantern the next time you see me on film. I think I'm going to be able to wear like an Invisalign retainer with a false tooth in there, so maybe you can't tell it as much. Just to let you know, I may not be making as many videos over the next week or 10 days because I'm going to be healing from that, so I don't know how I'm going to feel. I don't know yet. We'll see. It's going to take a few months for it to heal up. I have to have a bone graft and a bunch of other stuff done. It's quite expensive as well. So buy merchandise, buy my videos. Anyway, okay, that's kind of the news right now. If when we come back, I'm going to talk to you about how you could win a 2025 Honda Goldwing Tour, because we're giving one away. That's coming up next. Hey everybody, welcome back to Crown and Comments for April 2025. I'm Cruiseman, and I'm going to tell you now about how you might have an opportunity to win a brand new 50th Anniversary Edition 2025 Honda Goldwing Tour DCT. If you've been watching my channel over the last month, you've probably seen a lot of videos where I've been putting accessories on this giveaway bike. And I'm working in conjunction with DFW Honda here in Grapevine, Texas. Now, DFW Honda is one of the biggest, maybe the biggest powerhouse Honda dealer in Texas. And they do a lot of Goldwing business. They do a lot of trike business. They sell a ton of trikes. And in fact, I think they're maybe the #1 motor trike dealer in the country. If you're into motor trike, be it as it may, that's a whole different story. But they are giving away a brand new 2025 Goldwing, and they approached me with the idea of working together on this. And my part in it was basically to promote it through my YouTube channel and to add accessories to the motorcycle, so I could bring the bike in here and put on some. I was able to get some of my vendors to participate. They got some of theirs. So we were able to add some gold strike, some show chrome, some Traxxion, and some Pathfinder LED lighting products onto this brand new Goldwing. So whoever wins this motorcycle is going to get a whole bunch, thousands of dollars of add-on accessories. So it's really, really a neat deal. There's nothing to buy. You're not required to make a purchase or anything like that. I would appreciate it if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel, because that's really what I'm getting out of this. I'm not getting paid to do this by DFW Honda. Basically, it was an opportunity for maybe my channel to get a little more exposure, draw some people in and get some new subscriptions. Did you know that 60% of the people that watch my videos, in fact, I think it's like 67%, are not subscribers? I would appreciate it if you would subscribe. You don't have to sign up for the bike, but it would be much appreciated. Just click that little subscribe button down below. You know the drill. click the notification bell, and YouTube will let you know when we come out with all these new videos. Now, there are some things that you have to be a U.S. resident to win this motorcycle. You don't have to be a U.S. citizen, but you do have to have a residency within the United States. You must take delivery of the motorcycle. If you're the winning entry, and we're going to draw the winner on May 31st, 2025. So in about a month, we're going to be drawing the winner at DFW Honda. I'm probably going to be doing a live YouTube broadcast. We'll announce the winner live on YouTube, but you got to be there to take delivery. You don't have to be there the day we draw your name, obviously, but I think you have 30 days, as long as you can take delivery within 30 days. But you have to be at DFW Honda in person to sign the papers, and that's just a Honda requirement for these types of things. It's a legal thing. If you win, you're going to be responsible for getting yourself to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. It's a big airport here, DFW Honda. I'm sure they'll arrange ground transportation for you to get you to DFW. It's very close to the airport, by the way. And you will be responsible for any taxes or licenses or registration, sales tax, stuff like that. Just typical stuff you would expect. All of these rules are on the DFW Honda website, so go to DFWHonda.com, and you'll also find a link where you can enter to win the motorcycle. You can only register once. Everybody has the same number of chances or same opportunity to win, because everybody can only enter one time. And I just want to thank DFW Honda for doing this, for sponsoring this deal, and for also want to thank Gold Strike and Pathfinder LED and Traxxion Dynamics and Showchrome for kicking in and providing the accessories that we put on this giveaway motorcycle. Thanks. It's going to be great. Should be a lot of excitement on the 31st. And there is going to be an event. So if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area or nearby, make sure you come out on May 31st for the live drawing. So when we come back, I'm going to tell you what my takeaways were from my podcast visit with Lake Speed Jr. of Speed Diagnostics. Hey everybody, welcome back to Crown and Comments, April 2025. I'm Cruiseman, and now let's talk a little bit about my recent podcast and my visit with Lake Speed Jr., who is also the owner of Speed Diagnostics. Now, if you're not familiar with Speed Diagnostics, this is a company where they do used oil analysis. I mean, they'll analyze new oil too, but I'm saying generally what you do is you take a sample of your oil when you do an oil change, and you ship it off to them, and they will have their laboratory analyze it, or actually go through their process of testing it, and then Lake Speed Jr. will do the analysis and send you back a report. Well, we did this about a month ago. We ordered the kits, they sponsored the video, and we went to Dale's. Dale has a brand new 2024 Honda Goldwing, just like mine, had 530 miles, I think, on it, and we took did his first oil change and took a sample of his oil and sent it in. I also took a sample from my motorcycle, my 2024 Goldwing, about 4,700 miles. If you watch the video, it'll explain all this, the podcast. And we got our reports back from Speed Diagnostics, and it was very interesting because Dale's report was pretty standard, I would say. It had some of the wear metals in there that you would normally see during the break-in period. And in fact, if anything, this emphasizes the importance of doing your first oil change within the first 1,000 miles. I'd say between 500 and 1,000 miles. Maybe do your second oil change at 2,500 miles. And for the person, if you're like me and you're really into this sort of thing and you really want to make sure your motorcycle is getting the very best of the best, consider ordering their oil sample kit and sending it off to them and have them test it. And I'm going to be doing that real soon because I'm going to tell you about my oil sample. Dale's was pretty normal. He had a little bit of copper, I think, in his oil, some of the metals that you normally see during break-in, because that's when you get your most wear, is during break-in. After that, things settle down a little bit. But my oil sample that I sent in, and this was I had done my third oil change. I had about 400 miles on this last oil change. Had a lot of silicon in it, way over what it should be, and that's a little bit of a mystery. Even though Lake didn't really say much on camera about it, I could tell he was a little surprised that my motorcycle engine had more silicon than what you would typically see on a motorcycle with 4,700 miles. I am going to be draining the oil. I'm going to do another oil change. Very short, even though I've only got about maybe 600 miles on this last set of oil. I'm going to flush it out. I'm going to put fresh oil in. I'm going to run about another 500 miles, and I'm going to send in another sample and see if that silicon level starts to come down. If you're not doing used oil analysis through somebody like Speed Diagnostics, I would never have known this. I would never know how much silicon is in my oil and that it was a problem. As a result of what I've learned from watching Lake's channel and from this podcast itself, I will be making changes to my oil change video on my Honda Goldwing maintenance video series. So I trust his judgment. So I will be changing some of the context of my oil change video in the next few weeks, probably a couple of weeks, and I'll let you know about that. So if you own my Honda Goldwing maintenance video series for the 2018 to 2025 Goldwing, be on the lookout for some changes. Nothing drastic, but I think it'll be some more additional good information that for those of you that are really enthusiasts and you really want to make sure your motorcycle has the very best of the best, I think you're going to want to watch and update and check it out again. And if you don't own my Honda Goldwing maintenance videos, please check them out. ott.cruisemansgarage.com, and it gives you all the information there, or you go to my website, cruisemansgarage.com. And so once I do my oil change, I'll be sending that next sample. Okay, so thank you for watching the first 3 blocks. When we come back, I'm going to take your comments and your emails, and I'm going to give you my answers and my responses, and that's coming up right after this. Hey everybody, welcome back to Crown and Comments, April 2025. Don't forget, we're giving away a Honda Goldwing. Make sure you're registered for a chance to win. Anywhere in the country, you can win. Okay, I've got my MacBook Pro. I've got all of the questions and comments that I picked out from my YouTube channel, and I have an email here I'm going to read in a minute. And let's get started with, I don't know the username, 7789295. He says, this is on the video I did on the Show Chrome front fender extension installation. This was done quite a while ago. What would be wrong with adding a couple of nice decorative screw assemblies in the same area as the adhesive? Use screws that match the others. Over time, looks like adding those screws would make the extender much more likely to stay in place. Okay, first of all, the fender extension from Show Chrome attaches to the bottom portion of your front fender using 3M adhesive, and that 3M adhesive is very strong. I've never heard of a fender extension coming loose, but he's basically saying what would be the problem with putting a couple of screws in there. Here's the reason I think most companies don't want to do something like that, is because it's not usually a good idea to put screws under, where they could come loose and come off, and they're going to go right into your rear tire. I think that's the fear, and that would be my only concern. Even if you use a bolt with a nut on it, it could still come loose, fall down, and get into that rear tire. I don't know. I probably wouldn't do it. I'd rather just have the fender extension fall off and be gone, rather than take the risk of ruining a $250 tire. Okay, Kid 812, one of my members, Kid 8124 Lunch. I wish I knew what that meant. Kiddy, K-I-D-I. Sorry, it's taking forever. Thank you for being a member. Okay, this is on the video with Lake Speed, the recent podcast. Outstanding. I felt this would be a good interview. And he's talking about magnets. I've been using them for many years. Would like to hear about DCT oils versus Amsoil. I'm looking forward to, at some point in the future, doing something with Amsoil as far as maybe a podcast or an interview with them, because I know a lot of you guys either are big believers in Amsoil, and I know nothing about Amsoil. I've never used it, so but I have reached out to them and they did respond. So hopefully in the near future, maybe I'll be able to get something set up with Amsoil. As far as the magnets, I was really glad to hear that. I plan on putting the magnetic drain plugs in my Goldwing, because Lake said he gave it a big thumbs up. You can get those at wingstuff.com. So I'll look them up and maybe put them in the description of this video so you can link right to those magnetic drain plugs. Okay, let's go to UWM40A. This is on my video on the BreezyRyder that I recently did. I got the seat cover last year. I absolutely love it. But you're correct, even when you have your heated seat on as high as it will go, you cannot feel it in the wintertime. I have to take it off. But it sure is amazing to have when the summer hits. Okay, so there's the answer. Some people asked me, can you feel the heated seat through the BreezyRyder? And I didn't know because it's been too warm here to use it. But there, somebody, an actual owner, has tried it and says it does not. You can't feel the heated seat through the BreezyRyder. I don't think I've ever seen a seat pad that will work with a heated seat. I haven't seen one yet. So apparently BreezyRyder's same situation. But, in Texas, that wouldn't be a big issue. We have more hot days here than we do cold. If you live up north where it's cold all the time, it may not be an option for you. You just have to make that decision. Ride Fit Nation. Okay, Sensei. Great video. This is on the Trike video I did. I did a Trike review at DFW Honda a few months ago. And he just says, great video. My wife is loving her GW Trike. If I remember correctly, I think I watched the video. He has a green, like a military green, matte green 2024 bagger Goldwing. And he bought his wife an identical bike and had it triked. It really, really looks cool. So if you have not been to Sensei's channel, check out at Ride Fit Nation. I'll put it on the screen. And make sure you subscribe to his channel. Randy Pettit, 8797, said, I asked about this. This is about the BreezyRyder. I asked about last year. I purchased one last year, did a 1,600-mile ride, getting iron butt. This makes the ride so much better. So another fan. Everybody I've heard so far that has the BreezyRyder really seems to like it. NRA Life member, this is on the BreezyRyder review, said, doesn't 245 seem a little steep for a pad? Okay, you have to think about it this way. You're getting two pads. You're getting a rider and a passenger pad. So for most other seat pads on the market, you'd have to buy two pads. Plus you're also getting a seat cover. And I think one of the biggest benefits of this BreezyRyder is that it's protecting your seat from the boot scuffs when you get on and off the bike. So yeah, it's not inexpensive, but it's a $30,000 motorcycle. And the seat is $1,000. So if you end up having to replace that seat because of all the scuff marks, you're looking at $1,000. Alex Garcia, or Alex J. Garcia, said, this is on the Monimoto review I did recently. Sounds great. Do you know if the main unit can be permanently plugged into the Pathfinder USB-C port, or how long is the battery good for? I don't know the answer to that for sure. I have not seen that it will run on shore power or main power. I think you just have to charge it and then use it, but I will try to confirm that with Monimoto. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that yet. As far as the battery lasting, they claim it lasts 9 to 12 months. So that tells you everything there. Slappy Adventures. Here we go. Slappy. I met Slappy at Goldwings and Glizzies, and he has posted a comment. I absolutely love mine. He's talking about the BreezyRyder here again. Great product and even better people. I put them on 4 motorcycles. Goldwing, F6B, HD Road Glide, and now his 2025 Goldwing DCT. Another fan of the BreezyRyder. Mr. Greg said, this is on the video I did about the 800-mile service that a friend of mine had done on his Goldwing. $600. Dirt cheap. I recently had the 18,000-mile service done on my BMW K1600 GT and paid $1,818.36. Wow. Sometimes as Honda Goldwing owners, we don't realize how good we have it. You complain about the price of service. Man, no wonder all these BMW guys keep trying to get me to make maintenance videos for BMWs so they don't have to pay these outrageous prices. I don't have any plans to do that, by the way. Ron Williams, this is on the Traxxion Dynamics engine guard that I installed on the giveaway bike. Cruiseman, perhaps you should include speaking about the removal of the front lower engine panel. Otherwise, you cannot reach the front bolts. I have a video on that. I have an installation video on the Traxxion engine guard. So just search my channel for it, you'll find it, and I go through the whole installation procedure. Road Glide, good friend of mine, local here in Texas, has that beautiful blue 2022 Goldwing. He's talking about the new center tail light from Pathfinder LED that goes on the back of the bike. Great idea, easy install. I'm adding another set of lights. Not mentioned was allowing slack required when removing this brake light assembly in the event you need to access the keyway to deploy your saddlebag. Okay, when you install this little center tail light, it replaces the cover that you have to remove to get to the key to open your left saddlebag in the case maybe your battery dies or whatever. And I did not show in my video how you remove that light. It's very easy. I can do it with my fingers. You can maybe use something to pry it off, but I didn't have to. I was able to get my fingers under there enough to pry it off. Maybe I'll make another video. And what he's saying is to leave a little bit of slack in that wire so that you can pull it out. Now, generally, there will be slack in the wire going up under your seat where you plug it in. So even if you didn't leave any slack, let's say when you installed it, you pulled all the slack out, you pulled it tight. If you just pull on it slightly, maybe an inch or two, you'll pull that wire down on top of that rear fender and you'll be able to get it out. I don't think that's going to be an issue. But thank you, Road Glide, for that comment. Much appreciated. I'm sure some other people have had that question. This is on my review of the Sena 60S. Dr. J said, after watching the video, you have fixed my issue. Oh, always like that. The part where you said, do not connect the phone to the bike. That's what I've been doing wrong all along. I removed that, and the 20S Evo worked great. Better than ever. Or better late than never. 7 years of frustration ended. Thank you so much. There you go. Once again, Cruiseman to the rescue. Thank you for that, Dr. J. Okay, Mark's Garage. Oh, hey, Mark. Mark's one of our members also and has a YouTube channel. Check out Mark's Garage I'll put a link on the screen, or I'll put his YouTube channel on the screen. This is on the Monimoto. Thanks for your review of Monimoto 9. These devices are great options to help track a stolen machine. It's a sad state of affair that we need to consider this. I have some Apple AirTags, and I may use one of my next long trip where I'm staying in different hotels. Nice work with your review. You know, one of the things I compared the Monimoto to was the AirTag. And there certainly are advantages to the Monimoto over the AirTag, but it's a little more costly. I can't say this name. I don't know what this is. The next comment is, I have the very first Monimoto and it works fine, very happy. There you go. Okay. And by the way, I became a Monimoto affiliate, so if any of you do decide you want to order the Monimoto, I'll put a link in the description of this video, and maybe I'll make a few bucks, I don't know. Pay for some of these teeth. I don't even know if it'd pay for a toothbrush, but it might help. Okay, this next one is on my first oil change video that was sponsored by Speed Diagnostics. He said the Amsoil metric motorcycle 10W30 oil is only rated for SH, according to their website. I don't know if they just haven't updated the information. However, that is below the SJ recommended oil from Honda. I'll ask about that when I talk to Amsoil. I'd like to find out. That's very good information. Thank you for that. Doug's Dogs again. The Traxxion Engine Guard Belly Pan is one of the best products I've bought for my 24 wing. Built in America. Spending the money was the easy part because it protects my investment. Proven to be the best on the market. I have it on my motorcycle. I had it on my 2018. In fact, I took the one off my 2018 and put it on the 2024. And I agree. Goldwing number 7. How's the seat on that 2025 Goldwing? Any improvements? What did you do about your 2024 Goldwing seat? Well, I haven't done anything yet. I do have the BreezyRyder on there right now, and I want to do a little more testing with that. But I haven't had it updated yet down in Bryan College Station. I have had the Wingsoft seat on the last 2 Goldwing seats I had, and highly recommend it. I really liked the Wingsoft Solution, but I haven't done it yet. As far as the seat on the 2025, is no difference. They haven't changed a thing. So sorry to say there's no improvement on the seat. Vinny Johnson asks, do you have to pay $49 a year for each Monimoto? That's my understanding, because it is basically an eSIM. Each Monimoto has its own eSIM, which basically is like a little cell phone. I mean, it's connecting to the cell service. So my understanding is yes, and that's an issue. If you're somebody like Mark at Mark's Garage, and you got, I don't know how many vehicles he's got a bunch of vehicles in his garage, and you wanted to put one of these on every vehicle, you'd be looking at a pretty substantial monthly fee, several $100s a month maybe. Now, you can move the Monimoto from one vehicle to the next. If you're taking it out for a ride, you wouldn't have to necessarily have it on every vehicle sitting in your garage. Maybe that's why he's using AirTags. Okay, Bit 2024 asks about the Monimoto. Does it work outside the USA? Yes, anywhere there's cell service, it will work. It works. That's one of their big claims, is that it works worldwide. Jamsey Home. Monimoto, how far is the proximity distance if you walk around town? How far away will the key fob in your pocket can get from your motorcycle before you get alerted? I don't know the number of feet. You can adjust the sensitivity of that proximity. I think there's a low, medium, high range you can set in the app. I know that I have it set to normal, and I left the key fob on my desk, which is maybe 20 to 25 feet from my garage. And when I back the bike out from the garage, I get an alert. So you don't have to be very far away from your motorcycle before it will alert you. Now, if you set it to max, I don't know. Maybe you can go another 20 feet. I just don't know. I haven't tested that. This is on the brake-free helmet light, one of my favorite products. I never ride without it. Of the 3 modes, which one do you use most? If I'm riding during the day, I leave the entire LED on, not flashing, but just on. If I'm riding after dark or like early in the morning when I go to breakfast to meet the guys for breakfast, I'll leave it to where just the center LEDs are on, because that makes a really big impact when you slow down and that whole thing lights up. But I never use the one where it flashes all the time. That's just me. Okay, thank you for that question. Ship office? I don't know. I love guessing at these names. I don't know. I'm a BMW guy, but I do enjoy your videos, and I've subscribed to your channel. Thank you. I'm looking forward to more videos. Oh, well, thank you. I'm getting more and more subscribers that are not necessarily Honda Goldwing owners. They're just motorcyclists or enthusiasts. So thank you. I appreciate you being part of the family. R.L. Wilding says, just picked up a brand new 2025 DCT Tour. Congratulations. And I noticed ticking, slapping noise from the right-hand side valve area. Please tell me if this is normal or do I need to be concerned? I don't know that it's normal, but I don't think you need to be concerned because 75% of the owners I talk to had the exact same issue, especially when the motorcycle's cold. Usually as the motorcycle warms up, that gets, you won't notice it as much, you won't hear it. So I don't think it's normal, but it's typical. Let's see, this is on my $50 off coupon offer. Mike Dunn said, Cruiseman, I went to Goldwing Glizzies on a demo day. I not only had the pleasure of meeting you, me I guess, but also was able to demo the new Goldwing. The following Saturday, I purchased a new 2024 Honda Goldwing Tour manual, the same color as yours, with only 1 mile on it, and did not get a $50 off coupon for your maintenance videos. Do you know if I can contact them and possibly get one? Anyway, thanks for all you do. Really appreciate it. Mike, absolutely. Yeah, contact. I apologize. I have forgotten the lady's name. That's kind of the finance person. She does closing documents when you buy a new bike. And she I think is the one that gives you your packet of information. And she has a stack of my coupons on her desk. And she's supposed to reach back there and put one of them in the kit, but maybe she forgot. Very possible. Just contact Southern Honda Powersports and ask them for it. If you live in the area, you could go by and pick it up. I'm sure maybe they would mail it to you or send you a photocopy. As long as you have the license number, the unique code, you can purchase the videos. But that code can't be used again, so they'd either need to hold it for you or trash it or put your name on it or something. Okay. Peter Descartes. This is on my video about the BT-Moto. Cruiseman, will this BT-Moto ECU flash void my warranty? Yes. If Honda ever knew about it, it probably would void your warranty. BT-Moto recommends that if you're going to take your bike in for any service, that you go back to the original programming of your ECU. And then when you get the bike back from the dealer, you can then reinstall the flash from BT-Moto. The odds of Honda ever knowing, I'd say rare. But it's possible. And if they did, it probably would void the warranty. But the question is, would they ever know about it? That is my last question on YouTube. Now I've got an email that I'm going to read real quick. And I got this today. This is from Fred, one of my viewers. And I'm just going to read it to you. I'll try to skip the extraneous parts. He has a 2018 Goldwing DCT Trike. I watched your video on the RIVCO passenger armrests and I purchased them from RIVCO. This is a video I did probably back in 2018. It's an old video. I waited a while to get them installed since it was the end of the season. I attempted to install them per your instructions and it did not go well. There was no way to fasten either one of the armrests to the inside of the bracket as you demonstrated. I also tried to reverse them to no avail. And then he goes through all the things that he had to try to do to get these installed. I contacted my vendor, Monimoto, about the issue, and even though it was out of the return period, they took the matter to RIVCO to get me a replacement right armrest. That was over a week ago. RIVCO has never responded to them. I tried to call and email as well and received nothing in return. Monimoto has been very responsive, but there's only so much they can do. I purchased the RIVCO armrest because I always considered RIVCO to be of high quality. The fact that they are hiding under their desk in response to me makes me never want to purchase another RIVCO product. Okay, first of all, like I say, I did that video probably back the first year I had the bike. I did have a relationship with the previous owner of RIVCO. The company was sold at some point to a new owner, and I've never had a relationship with new ownership. It's also possible that in that amount of time, the design or the manufacturing of these armrests has changed. I don't know. It concerns me, this type of an email, because when I put out a video on a product, even though I may not specifically endorse it, it does drive sales to these companies because people see it, they learn about it, they see how to install it. As a result of this email, I told Fred I'm going to take down that video off my YouTube channel until I hear more from Fred that it's gotten resolved somehow. I will be taking down that video. Thank you for joining me. Once again, I want to remind you, please, if you haven't done so already, please click that little subscribe button down below. Don't forget the notification bell. And even more important than, well, not more important than that, but just as important than that is if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Put your comments in down below. Is there something you like about this show or don't like about the show? Put it in. Even if you don't like it, just have a comment. Helps the channel. So much appreciated. Make sure you register for the 2025 Honda Goldwing at dfwhonda.com. And until next month, Crown and Comments, when I'll have one less tooth in my head, hopefully I'll be able to talk. Ride often and ride safe.